I saw a picture one time of a girl that was holding super tight to a teddy bear. As she's clenching the teddy bear, God is in the picture with his hand out and his other hand behind his back. From the perspective you can see in the picture, God has a much bigger teddy bear for her. He doesn't show her though, he's just reaching out his hand, in other words, asking for this girl to give him the teddy bear that she loves so dearly. It's an illustration of when we give God something that we value so much, he's going to bless us with even greater than we can imagine. Unfortunately though, what I find a lot of times is we take this approach, this transactional approach to God. In other words, we base our generosity, we base what we give to other people based on what we're going to get in return. And we're willing to give God things as long as we know that there's a guarantee that we get something in return. We're willing to give our all as long as we know that there's a guarantee that we are going to be blessed. It's a very transactional approach, and it matches the culture of our world today. Well, this week in our devotional, we're talking about across the street and around the world. And what we're going to see in this devotional is that this actually is not the way God intends it for us to be. Our giving, our generosity, the effort that we put in should not be based on what we are going to receive in return, but it should be based on the character of God. Let's read our verse together. Deuteronomy 15:10 and 11. Give generously to the poor, not grudgingly, for the Lord your God will bless you in everything you do. There will always be some in the land who are poor. This is why I'm commanding you to share freely with the poor and with other Israelites in need. We often read verses like this and focus on what we're going to get in return. That's not what this verse is talking about at all. See, last week we talked about works of love, and we talked about how our faith shows itself by the works that come out of the faith that we have. And while I believe that the works that we have should be an indication of our faith, I believe this week really talks about the heart behind those works. See, here's what I find oftentimes. We have works on the outside to try to justify to ourselves and others that we are more spiritual than those around us, but this is not the heart of God at all. See, this verse says, give generously to the poor. Oftentimes when we hear this, we automatically think that it's talking about giving money to those that don't have money. But this word poor, it actually has a larger scope. I like to look at this word poor as those that have a disadvantage in any kind of way on this earth, and that disadvantage puts them at a disadvantage to encounter the love of Christ like other people around them. What does this mean? It means that somebody can be socially poor. Somebody can be poor in justice. Somebody can be poor in material. And they have needs based on their lack. And we as Christians have a responsibility to meet their needs. See, what we're going to see in our devotional this week is that culture teaches survival of the fittest. Elevate yourself so that you can be above other people around you. Christianity is so countercultural to this. Christianity doesn't say elevate yourself. Christianity says elevate those around you so that they can have equal opportunity to encounter Christ. So we evaluate the heart of the works that we do as Christians. Are we doing good works so that we can put ourselves in a higher spiritual class to those around us? Or are good works flowing out of us as we go deeper into our faith in our relationship with God? Are these good works flowing out of us because our heart is matching the heart of God? Here's what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. This faith is about chasing after the heart of God, understanding the character and the heart of God, and getting so close to God that heart and his character begins to flow out of you. And here's the heart and the character of God. help those in need. Help the disadvantaged to be able to have equal opportunity so that they might encounter the love of God. Yes, in this life we need good works, but good works as Christians should not be so that we make ourselves look better, but these good works should flow out of a time spent with God, out of relationship that is formed with God. And so I just want to challenge you as we're talking about across the street and around the world, to just have your eyes open to what God may potentially be wanting to do. I would argue that every single day you're passing by people that are at some kind of disadvantage. Some are obvious, whether it's the homeless or whether it's those that don't have material needs, but there's other people that are at a social disadvantage, that don't have the connections or friendships that other people have. Some people are at a disadvantage of justice. They're not in a position where they can defend themselves, where they can stand up for themselves. We as Christians are called to give to the poor, those that are at a disadvantage. And by giving to them at a disadvantage, we put them in a better position to encounter the love of God. So open your eyes. Who around you is at some kind of disadvantage, that you could meet that advantage, that they might have equal opportunity to encounter the love of God that you have. See, when our works flow out of religious obligation, it becomes about our image to others. Man, when we get in the presence of God and we pursue His heart and we pursue who He is, these good works begin to flow out of us. We have our eyes open to the ministry and the work that God wants to do through us. And other people each and every day in the common areas of life are able to encounter the love of God. Open your eyes. Open your eyes to who's across the street, to who's in need. Open your eyes to the needs around the world that you could potentially make a difference in. Man, when we align our hearts with God's, and we say, God, I want more of you, we begin to chase after His character, and these things begin to flow out of us, not in a religious obligation, but in a way that says, God, I just want other people to be at the same opportunity that I am at to encounter your love. And if that means reaching or creating an advantage in a spot where there's a disadvantage in anything in this world, I want to meet those needs so that they can have an opportunity to encounter Christ. Who in your world today has a disadvantage that you could meet? Who in your world today is in need that you could meet the need? I believe that the people in your life, the places you go in this world, God is leading you towards those people and into those places that you can make a difference. Let's talk about these things together in our family devotional questions.